Bonjour! So we are back in Sunset Valley and in the town center, actually, because I've been thinking I want to do the different rabbit holes and use rabbit hole rugs instead. And the next one on my list is this one here, because it's a bit of an eyesore. It's kind of too obvious that it's very tall, and compared to the hospital, whoa, it's way too big. It's supposed to be a small town, from what I gathered. So it's a bit weird to have such a tall building there. So it's a business center, the office building, and it's in between the gym here. That's the salon. And I've got a few ideas already. It's going to be a combo, a bit a la same thing I did for the police department, and a mix also with, because I'm going to have like a parking lot in the back. That's my first idea here. I haven't visited the lot yet. I don't think there is much to see because it's just a rabbit hole building, but to give me some inspiration of what direction to take for the build itself. So let's have a look. So first in Town, so it's 2 Ps, corporate towers, 32 by 36. Not that big for community lots. And my idea is to have a nerd shop here. Perfect was the next one. So nerd shop. So I'm going to have kind of a comic book shop there, plus a small cafe, because it's not a Java hut. I hesitated a bit, but I'm going to have the comic book shop there. Yeah, because there is also the journalism career, the business career, the one we get with university life. I had it before with computer. What is it? The video game developing career. So let's have a closer look at 2 Ps corporate towers. These towers, plural. Why is it plural? It's one big one. Anyway. So let's assess that build. It's tall. It is tall. The gym is just tiny compared to it. Okay, so I can spot a reception desk over there. Front desk with the logo, the SIMS logo. Okay. Oh, I can have, we have like columns that could do the trick for that style here. We won't have stained windows, but maybe we can do something with mirrors. I don't know. Or wallpaper. I'll see. There is a marble-like texture here. Okay. I thought it was a snacking corner, but no, that's a big screen, is it? The rendering is not as good as in other lots, I think, of the inside. Okay, so it's the same room here, and same one in the back. Okay, so there's a small parking lot here. So I'm going to have the parking lot in the back, and I was going to say the shopping strip here, but not really. The businesses here, because it's just across the street from my mini mall. So have like, you can just cross, even though there is no crosswalk there. You can just cross over to that part if you want to go to the coffee shop, for instance. Yeah, there is like a plaza in the back, which is a bit weird as there's like nothing there. So why not? Oh, and that's the criminal rabbit hole. Ooh. I'm going to make over this one. I was going to say next, but maybe not, because this one might take time. So I might want to do small lot afterwards, an easy one. So there is like the same entryway there. And so actually the back and front are like the same. And that part here is a tad weird to me because it's it doesn't go with the neighborhood there. Like, why not have a back door area here instead of having exactly the same big entrance? So I'm going to do like, this is going to be the back door area over there with the parking lot, I'm thinking. And in the front, the businesses. And yeah, people can go park in the lot across the street if needed. Okay, so that's the big idea here. So I'm going to have to recap. So it's labeled as nerd shop now. So we're going to have a comic book shop, and it's going to be small. Next to it, since we have the video game developers working there, we're going to have a video game shop. I'm thinking the comic book shop and video game one can be the same and have two different departments there. And small coffee shop, business office building, business center, and journalism. So I'm thinking having a radio station there too. And the idea is to squeeze all of these in not that big of a lot. Let's do just that. So I don't think I've mentioned it yet, but it should be in the title of the video. It's going to be a two-part video because it ended up being quite long to do the whole makeover there. And also I took a few breaks in between texts from Sunset Valley. So first here I'm laying out the floor plan for the whole build, and I actually divided the lot into 3 different buildings and 2 different levels, as you can see there. So there is a part on the ground, starting on the ground floor, and the other part is starting on foundation. So first, the business center is the one I tackled first. I've tried to make it look a bit like a tower. I also did that for a building at the other end, the building at the other end of the lot, because there was towers, plural, in the name of the lot. So I tried to have it work there. So the business center, I did a bit like for the police department and took inspiration from the original building that you can still see in the back there, but giving it my own twist. First of all, it's way smaller than the original building, and also I don't have all the same features. So I haven't used actually mirrors for the windows. But I do not regret that because there is quite a view from the upper floors. So I'm actually glad there are actual windows there, even though the view is on the diner across the street. But well, what can you do? It's the placement of the lot that is that bizarre in the town. But yeah. So that building has 3 real floors and 1 fake one, a freeze level like one. So there is like the ground floor, and then a freeze level like floor so that the building can catch up to the 2 that are on foundation, and then 2 more floors that can be used and that are furnished. I placed the rabbit hole rug for the business. So the business rabbit hole rug on the ground floor there, and it's going to be the lobby for the business center. And then on the 2nd floor, it's going to be the business center itself, with the office space. And on the upper floor, the 3rd one, it's more oriented toward the journalism career. And that's also where I've put the radio station. So there, I was almost done copying the rabbit hole building, still in the back. I'm going to remove it afterwards. No worries. But yeah, I was glad to have that as a base to start on that lot, because again, I don't know the style of the town, so it's difficult to know what to start with for the different buildings, and I struggle quite a bit with the other two, wondering what style I could give them, for instance, or how to have them be different from the first building, but still fitting well with it. So I did, as I've said, the part more on the right there. I've tried to make it a bit tower-ish, like the business center, and this time I put on a rooftop. So that roof is actually pagoda style and has kind of a modern slant to it, I guess. And then I've tried to dress up a bit the building and try different combos of windows, doors and wallpapers there until I was more or less satisfied. I'm still not totally satisfied, but I'm okay with it. The comic book store is going to be in the middle, and I've changed it afterwards. Not in that video, but I've done so in that video, but I've done even more in the next one. And it's not that big, it's rather small, but I've made it a tad bigger in the back afterwards, after I'm done with the exteriors actually. So I've adjusted quite a few times, because I think the next chapter in that video is the fact that I'm adjusting the buildings, but I've done so quite a bit there, because for all the complaining I did about that lot not being as big as other lots, and that I was going to squeeze in quite a few businesses on a too small of a lot. It's not that small. I've been spoiled by, huge lots in that town. I'm not used to that, so I think I've been spoiled a bit there, and I thought it was going to be too small, but it's not. I had well enough room to do everything I wanted, even more. So also I kind of ran out of signs to use. I wasn't going to use the swimming pool one, it's too specific, and most of the other ones I've used on another building in town. So I think I've used the white and blue one first on the comic book shop, but I'm pretty sure I've replaced it with awnings in the next video. I'm not 100% sure though. So we are in the adjusting things chapter there. It's not going to be the last one. I've been adjusting that building ever since I started it. So added windows to the wallpapers and rearranging the layout of the store. Yeah, it never ends actually, because I've even done a bit more on the building across the street, the minimal I did in the previous video. Well, it has changed a bit. Nothing major, but I've added things that I'd forgotten to put there. And have I rearranged something building wise? I don't think so. So mostly adding decor items. I was like, oh, why haven't I put that there? Because I had forgotten. So readjusting the rooftops, the small terrace area there. Mostly the buildings are going to look like that at the end. The basic look So I also added a parking lot at the back of the building. That's where I think I've said it, but in between text there, I went and did other things because it was a long building to do. So that's also why I've divided it into 2 videos. So it's going to be a bit like for the hospital and fire station. I'm going to do the exteriors in this one, and in the other one it's going to be to tackle the interiors. So in between text there, I would go to Bridgeport and continue on the library I've started like 2 months ago, but it's a long building to do too, because it's a big building. And when I was there, I spotted the parking lot over there, and I really needed to rearrange things because there were no access ramps there, and it was bothering me like crazy. So I actually stopped doing what I was doing there, so the parking lot there, and went over there and do that one, and then went back to that project, like feeling a bit more fresh for it. And that's how I roll, I guess. Also I kept seeing the spa next door, and I was like, I really don't like the protruding bay window, but needs to have some coverage, so I've put the trees that were already on the lot as more like a grove around the part where the bay window for the spa is. So I had quite some room, so I did kind of it's not a tall booth, but more like gatekeeper booth. So it made my eldest nephew laugh that I put that there. But he did like it, so I've kept it there. I also did a fire escape here. I did another 2 for the 2 builds, but afterwards, because I wasn't sure. So that part of the building I was sure of, that building itself, like the business center, I knew that I wasn't going to have it bigger in the back. I was good with the proportions there, and that's why I did the back there. Then, because the other 2 I wasn't sure, so fortunately I didn't start there, because I would have had to do them again, because I changed the other 2, expanded them a bit more later. So here I knew that the building was going to stay that way, that big, and not go any bigger. So that's why I did more the back of the building more in details. So though there are 2 less windows there. So then, grunging up a bit the back and the rooftop, also added radio antenna, the radio tower, because we have the radio station there. So I've used like 2 columns, those ones. They look like big antenna to me, so I put one on top of the other so that we have kind of a radio tower there. So also I did a few more detail here and there, more to come in the next video. Again, here I was more or less trying to get the feel of the different buildings there, and it was easier for the business center because again I had an example, an inspiration picture, an inspiration building just there to help me out. But for the other 2 buildings on that lot, I had no idea how they were going to turn out when I started. So I actually don't remember if I have said that the other tower-like building is going to be the café, and it's rather big too, so that there was quite some room to work with. In between the two tower-like buildings, we have the real nerd shop, the comic book store, and then on the second floor I've put items for the game developer career there. So it's a career I think you seem to have gone to uni to be able to do it, but it's an option in the rabbit hole, in the business rabbit hole. So again, if I played that lot, I would use Ultimate Career. I'm going to put the link in the description box below, and I've tried to put items, but we'll tackle that with the interior video. But yeah, I've tried to put items there that can help improve their skills to do their job better. So grunging up again, another rooftop, and then I think I'll do the street. Same thing with the street. I've tried to use, there are tiles that have an embossed effect, as if the ground was uneven. In the eye, like that. Not that I want my Sims to sprain their ankles, but it's just a bit more of details. So in the back, I did the garbage, the dumpster area there. Again, adding a few more things to dress up the whole lot. And I've went across the street to steal a few things, to add even more things, but also to steal a few things from the lot. So the bus station, also the fence around the flower beds. It's the same town, so I thought that maybe the flower beds were for that corner of the street. So I've put the same fence there. That fence is from the original lot across the street. So I've just added those plants, and then the flower bushes they're the same that were on the original salon that I used across the street. So the fencing there and the main plants are from the original build, which is from the lot bin, and I've added them there to add unity to the neighborhood, because I imagine that the streets are being dealt with by the same people. So if a flower bed is on one side of the street, maybe it's also on the other side. I don't know. I went with that so that I had kind of a more cohesive look and a link between the two lots there. I also used the same roof color that we have in the minimal on the cafe tower there. So again, more cohesive look there. So here is the result for now, with the 3 different buildings on that lot. The parking lot in the back. It's a bit difficult to show. I've tried to keep all the trees. The gatekeeper's booth I guess. So the back is going to change a bit in the next video. I'll try to do another tour of the parking lot. The business center or tower. The nerd shop, well, the comic books shop here, and the cafe on the right. So a view from above. So first the parking lot here in the back, so the entrance is there, and then you can park there. And here I hesitated having the food truck, but there is a gate, so maybe not. I'll have it on another lot. Quick overview of the ground level and first floor, second floor and third floor for now. So the floors are empty for now, of course. I'll furnish them in the next video, so it's going to be the interior design in the next video, and also adjusting the buildings accordingly. So that's it for that one. So view of the neighborhood for now. It does fit better, I think, there. It's definitely not as obvious, at least from afar, than the rabbit hole building. So that's it for that video. I'll see you in the next one. À bientôt!